Welcome to this week's legislative report. After several hours of tense discussion that criticized the timing and procedures for the special session, the legislature adjourned on Thursday without a property tax bill on the floor for debate. Because LB1, the bill introduced by Senator Lou Ann Linehan on Governor Pillen's behalf, met with much opposition at the Revenue Committee hearing last week, the committee pivoted to use LB9 as the base for the committee bill. A draft amendment to LB9 was circulated to senators Wednesday night, and the Revenue Committee met in executive sessions on Thursday to work through the fine points of the amendment, but they were unable to finalize it in time to vote it out of committee and debate it on the floor this week. The legislature was scheduled to meet on Friday and Saturday, but at Senator Linehan's request, the body adjourned until Monday at 1 p.m. so the Revenue Committee could work on the amendment and negotiate with opponents. Debate on the amendment could begin on Tuesday. Much of the amendment to LB9 would affect counties. It would cap property tax requests for counties and cities at 0% or the percentage change in the Consumer Price Index, whichever is greater. Although it appeared that there might be some consideration of using a different inflationary measure that's more relevant to government, it wasn't included in the draft amendment to LB9. An exception to the cap would be created for public safety, which is defined to include police, fire, crime prevention, offender detention, medical, ambulance or emergency services, county attorneys, and public defenders. Language from LB 45 would transfer the duties of ex officio clerks of the district court to the state. Clerk magistrates from county court would assume those responsibilities starting in 2026. Elected clerks of the district court would not be transferred to the state unless voters opted not to retain the office as an elected position. Counties would be reimbursed for 25% of the costs of operating and maintaining county jails in 2025 and 50% thereafter under concepts that were presented in LB 53. Counties with jails would report the costs to the Jail Standards Board rather than the inmate per diem process that was proposed as a means of providing replacement revenue for inheritance taxes during the regular session. The maximum school levy would drop from $1.05 to 25 cents. The reduction would be offset by nearly $2 billion of state aid that would be generated in part from removing exemptions and expanding the sales tax base. New ag machinery and equipment would not be subject to personal property taxes, but would have a 2% estate tax. A property tax credit would be provided for property taxes paid for natural resources districts. While these changes, as well as others in the package, may not appear in the final amendment to LB9 exactly as they were initially proposed, the concepts are expected to remain as part of the overall plan.